That's one of the other reasons I like to do these podcasts and have these conversations, because maybe there is another guy out there who's thinking that they can't share, afraid to share their feelings. Because we've known each other
8-10 years.
Yeah, you got into real estate around the same time I got into mortgage. Today's episode is going to be more about talking about life rather than titles and who you are and all that sort of thing. Although we'll get into that. Still going through a divorce. It's not quite finalized yet. I was married for 16 years, and I know you were married, what, 18? That's a big chunk of your life that you're used to being with somebody and living a certain way. Men especially, we feel like we can't share ourselves. And I don't know why that is.
Just show up every day, do your job, and just you can't show any emotion. And make money and do it all over again. Wash and repeat, wash and repeat, wash and repeat. Have you ever heard of this expression that you can't keep someone who doesn't want to be kept?
Ooh.
If it's not two people, then there's literally no point. And the wishful thinking of it's going to get better if I do these things, this is going to change, but the reality is it's not.
A lot of what led to the divorce was a terrible accident. She got so drunk, she basically threw herself down the stairs, put herself into a coma for 5 days. My daughter's literally holding the phone with 911, carrying her up the stairs, giving her CPR while my son's flagging down the ambulance.
I learned to give myself boundaries, right? That before I didn't really set for people. Be always like, yes, 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 and just overcommit.
Taking care of another person and giving so much of yourself, you lose a sense of yourself along the way.
Lived in Maricopa, the city of Maricopa now, almost 20 years. I have 2 amazing sons. I volunteer probably the majority of the time.
So what's your goal for Maricopa as part of being on the city council?
Social mental well-being of people and services to be offered, because again, you can put your name on a building at any time, right? It's only relevant to what that is, but no one's going to remember the why behind it, and I'm a believer of that. Everyone has a why.
Oh, big time. If you're a resident of Maricopa, Adam Leach, make sure he gets on the ballot. Vote for him for city council. Well, welcome to another episode of Happy Hour with Hatchman. Cheers, buddy.
Yes, dude.
You're the first official guest in the new podcast room. Today's episode is going to be more about talking about life rather than titles and who you are and all that sort of thing. Although we'll get into that. Because we've known each other, I think we started this
8-10 years.
Yeah, you got into real estate around the same time I got into mortgage. If I remember right, well, your first open house, I co-hosted with you, right?
You did, man, for sure. It was an awesome time, dude.
I love that. So
back when we were young.
Right, yeah. We were, and life has happened to us since then, especially 2025, I know, and 2024 for you as well. So
yes, I mean
it's and we'll get into all of that. For those viewers that don't know Adam, who is Adam outside of real estate? And
damn, it's a great question, man. So I mean, I don't know, it might take us more than an hour, but all right. So Adam is a guy that's lived in Maricopa, the city of Maricopa now, almost 20 years. I have 2 amazing sons. I volunteer probably the majority of the time. So you'll either find me at Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, a recreational program, coaching, you name it, I'm out there. I'm just a big community guy. You know?
Why do you think you like to give back to the community so much?
I think it's just like the community has given me so much of like an opportunity to do other things. So it's like, why not, right? Like I grew up in an environment where it wasn't really like a giving situation. So for me, it's like, if I can see kids or someone be like ecstatic to be like, hey, I'm able to do this, or I wasn't able to do that, or even just as like buying a home. Like never thought they could ever buy a home, and here they are, they're now homeowners, dude. So it's pretty awesome for sure.
I love that. Well, getting into the real estate side, I know that's kind of where you got a chance to really learn about the community, live in the community. I know you do the majority of your work out there in Maricopa, helping home buyers, helping people sell their houses. So is that kind of what kicked it off? Like help finding your love of the people?
Honestly, man, like I was in the community way before ever being licensed. So my oldest son, 19, I started coaching recreational, I think it was flag football. Started then and was like, okay, wait a minute, like this is pretty great. I get to meet kids. These kids are basically young. They're ecstatic. They're able to play a sport maybe they never could. I was like, wow, this is pretty great. Then I went to Cub Scouts. Got involved with that, and then in camping and all the other stuff was like, wow, like this is actually like a community. Like people come together, and it was like only like down the road because I started in IT, did IT stuff, and I didn't become a realtor until later on. So it was like a sphere already within inside itself.
So you already knew the people, and now it was just a new way to kind of give back to them.
Basically, for sure. And it was like, hey, by the way, I'm a realtor. And like, really? And then we just went on from there.
What did you start noticing about Maricopa that made you care beyond the real estate side? I know you were kind of answered a lot of that, but the city of Maricopa specifically, why do you love it out there so much?
I think we're special because like there's Gilbert, there's Chandler, right? Mm-hmm. Then there's Maricopa. People either frown on it and say, oh, it's really far off, it's the end of the earth. Right. Which is not that far of a drive. If you think about it, it's only 20 minutes from the I-10. We're actually one of only one city in the United States that's landlocked by all Native American tribes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So again, I think people look at it as either a plus or behind us. But again, it's like being special, right? We are a tight-knit community. If you need things, people always help out. They'll either come by and do stuff. So
it's got that small town feel.
Yes.
And just people are there to help each other's backs.
For sure, man. You know what I mean? So it's a great community.
How do you think it's evolved over the past 10 years?
Oh, I mean, night and day from like what we had, which is crazy. Like even a simple store that opens out there, the whole community goes out there. Like I'll never forget a Goodwill, which is, they do what they do. Right. The line was past fries around the building. And the executives were like, we can't believe all these people coming here. It's a Goodwill, but it's like, it's a community because it's like, we didn't have it, and now we do.
So they're very welcoming to like any sort of new business.
Any business, you know what I mean? For sure, so.
And we'll shift because I know you're running for city council, right?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Why? What sparked all that for you?
Great, so I ran 4 years ago, learned a lot, and it was kind of like, I look at it as, again, back to baby steps. Coaching, volunteering. I gave back to the community, to youth and kids. Okay. Then it was like, okay, Boy Scouts, it's kind of like older kids. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm still loving this. And it's like, okay, then I was like into real estate, helping families, like, okay, doing that for some time. It's like, well, how can I help in a bigger scale? Yeah. So 4 years ago, I was like, hey, I'm going to run for city council then because I want to help the community. I love now, fast forward even more so now, it's like what I learned then, and now I want to put it all together and run to benefit the community itself. So just continue to like scale up from there, I guess.
No, that actually makes perfect sense. Like you've already found so many ways to give back to the community. That's like next level. Because most people, like when I think of government, like I think it's like too far gone to even begin to try to help there. So the fact that you are willing to try that and that excites you, like that, I think that tells us everything we need to know about the type of guy you are. Sure,
man. Because you think about it, it's like the passion, right? Like coaching. Yeah. It's like there's something in me, right? The passion, right? Helping someone buy a home in an area that people tend not to like. Right. And like, hey, this is my home. Like this is where I want to raise a family. Now it's like the government-wise, local, what you can actually do to an area to say, hey, like there's opportunity to make things there that are not out there. Right. You know, like, yeah, there's buildings that could be built, but it's like there's services too to be offered that people never knew that they even have.
So what's your goal for Maricopa as part of being on the city council?
Great question, man. I would say like social mental well-being of people and services to be offered, because again, you can put your name on a building at any time, right? It's only relevant to what that is. It's like leaving behind like a connection with people, right? Yeah. Again, it goes back all the way to what I said. Sports, coaching, buying a home is leaving behind something that that person or that community felt they never could have, now has.
Human connection for the betterment of the
community itself, and not again, because that building will come and you go, the name is on there, relevant to maybe that time frame, but no one's going to remember the why behind it. And I'm a believer of that. Everyone has a why.
Oh, big time. I think we learned a lot about the human condition with COVID, right? Like being shut down, not being able to go places, the quarantine. Like we thrive on human connection. And so to be the guy that can help put that together in a positive area, like I can see why you're passionate about that. Sure, like we need more of that in this world.
Yes, we do, because it's easy to find like the negativity, right? You can find it every day, every second, but if you change your mindset to look for the positivity, then that's just going to rewire yourself into looking like, okay, like there's a better outcome for this. Yeah. You know, and not just like, okay, this happened bad, so now something else is going to happen and everything else goes downhill from there. But again, as a city, most people don't like Maricopa. Until you're there, you stop at Honeycut Coffee, you have a coffee there, and it's like, wow, this is like a small town feel.
Yeah. I actually made a video once on Maricopa, and it got a lot of negative comments. It still does, actually.
It doesn't surprise me.
I'm just like, guys, come on, can we change our mindset? Like, somebody give me something positive. One of my very first YouTube clients came from that video. Okay. Like, hey, I saw your video on Maricopa. I'm looking to move there. Like, can you help me? So
there you go.
Power of social media, man. But no, that's really cool, man. It's I want to tap into the mindset piece of it a little bit, because not everybody's wired that way, dude. Like you said, there's a lot of negativity, and And I do love social media, but with all the good is also the bad, right? That it gives some people a platform to be super negative and say bad things, like in my Maricopa video. But the majority of the comments I think are sometimes more negative than positive. So how do we shift that? How do we find the people with the right mindset to be able to create more content and to kind of push out the negativity? Or is there not a way to do that?
Oh, and for me personally, like, it's easy to go negative, right? Without knowing really what the content is. It's almost kind of like most of the time people have a hard time ever expressing themselves. So when they do, it's on social media and it's okay, I'm typing on there, this was bad because of whatever, right? Their sandwich wasn't hot enough. It's not really about the sandwich, it's something else that's happening within their life. But if you actually took the time and spent the time in the city itself and truly get to know people, like, it'll really show like how amazing it is. Like, most of the time I ask people that put out that negative comment, it's like, are you okay? Because it's easy to be like, oh, well, agree with them, jump on that bandwagon about whatever that is.
We fight back initially. That's like our first reaction most of the time.
But you're not hearing what they're really saying, because ultimately it's not so much about the sandwich, it's more about whatever that's going on in their life.
I like that. What's really going on?
Like 347, right? People hate that road.
Oh, man.
But again, I correlate it back to surviving, thriving, right? So if you're thriving, that road could be hours waiting in traffic, you're not going to care. But where you're in a pure survival mode, it's everything sets you off, right? If it's 10 minutes late to your job, or it's now yet I'm on there, now I might not even have a job, like the stress of everything just mounts and mounts. So that road, like everywhere in the valley, there's traffic. People just correlate that road, so stressed, and when you can't get out of that town. You go anywhere, there's traffic.
Of course, It all does come down to mindset. Like, I remember when I had an office in Scottsdale for a little bit, so that was a bit of a commute. I was between the 202, the 101, the 10, like, and it was crazy. But I remember getting to the point where I was like thankful when there was traffic, because that gave me a few extra moments in my car, a little bit longer. I could jam to my music, sing nice and loud, like
decompress.
I almost looked forward to the traffic, where an older version of me would have been like, come on, like, what's taking so long? Like, so it really is that mindset shift. And I talk about that a lot on social media, because I do believe that it is. It's the thoughts that you're thinking lead to your actions. So have you always been that type of guy, or did you have to learn to do that? Like
I was saying, coming here, right? I've always tried to find, like, there's people that either say yes or no. And if it's no, how do I change that no to a yes? Right? It's more the positivity, right? And that's what you have to look at, is try to find the bright side of stuff. Because again, at the end of the day, it all comes down to it. How you feel inside resonates in who's around you, who you want to spend the time with.
That's true.
Like me spending time with you now, I'm not going to get the hour back, right?
It's true.
That's all I have, right, today.
I appreciate your time today.
You know what I mean? So it's important that people don't look at it that way, but it's like, I'm giving you the most valuable thing, which is my time.
I agree.
I can have items, I can have houses, it doesn't matter, but time.
It's the most valuable thing we have, is time. That's the one thing you can't get back.
And there's no dollar amount on it.
Exactly. No, that's cool, man. I like that, because if you think about it in that way, it's like literally everything you do is an investment, right? Every hour, like what you dedicate your learning towards, or your time, or if you want to spend that time binge watching Netflix series or whatever, right? Like, that's something that you're investing. And when you're investing your time, it's almost like investing in your soul and in your person. That's
because you think about it, right? At the end of the day, if you invest your time in a community, right, the community is going to pay back to you. And I tell people all the time, I've been in Scottsdale, you name it. I'm like, I volunteer more than I actually do real estate. And they're like, well, how do you do that? I'm like, because one funnels the other.
Because you love it.
Because people get to see really who you are, right? You're volunteering, doing whatever that is. And then it's, oh, by the way, my job is this. Oh, really? Great. Well, now I need help taking care of that.
Isn't it crazy how that works? Like, the more you give away for free, the byproduct is like the stuff that does make you money.
Reciprocity.
Like, it's that has been the weirdest thing that I've learned along the way, but like, it's so true. Like, the more you just give back, like, when I first started making videos on social media, like, my whole goal was to try to, get a client to close a loan so I can make some money. But then it turned into an education thing. And it was like, well, I just want to let people know what's going on. Like, they can take my entire speech and education and go walk into whatever bank or loan place that they want and get the same thing. And I'm cool with that. Like, But the fact is, a lot of them do come back to me because, again, as you share part of yourself, you find others that have similar values and thoughts, and so.
And then, like, I think personally, is people connect with you without ever like really speaking to you, right? They see your content, they see who you are, so it's as simple as pick up the phone. It's like almost like we're friends.
Yeah.
But you're not friends yet.
Those are the conversations that I get to have. It's so fun. It's like they feel like they already know me. I feel like I kind of already know them, even though I've never spoken to them before.
Right.
Like it's just that's the
connection for sure.
That's the cool part of social media, even though it's virtual. And that's why I'm a big believer in this, right? Because like I've done virtual podcasts where it's on like a webcam, but like when someone's here and they're giving you their time outside of that computer screen, it's different.
Yeah.
There's a different energy that's there. And so I think that's another thing COVID taught us. It's like we need to be around people.
Connections.
We need to share that. Well, what's the saying? If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. I think that is that saying. So that's cool, man. Because the government's a huge thing to tackle. So
I get you, but at the end of the day, like there's things at a state level, then there's things like at a local level that people don't realize. But you have the opportunity to really change stuff.
Absolutely.
You just have to like roll up your sleeves and put in the work, and it'll prove itself.
Yeah,
you know,
and you're
so many shape or form. Oh, for sure.
That's so cool, man.
I mean, it's amazing to see. Like even like speaking to ADOT, the money for 347, and getting it and having it fully funded, which they're going to break ground next year on that.
Okay,
it's going to be a game changer for the city. Again, like I said earlier, as much as people don't like that road, it's the economic development that's going to come from that as well.
And that's the other piece, right? Like so many people look at that instant gratification, and if they want it right now, right? That's why fast food places are so popular, and why everything. It's because we live in that instant gratification world. But for those that can think a little bit further into the future and look at what's coming, I think that's something special that not everybody can see. So how do you do that?
Simple as this. Like I'm a lifelong player of chess. Okay. Love chess. Some people play chess, some people play checkers. And all to the day, like chess is what that is, right? It's the fourth move from now. Yeah. So people don't really realize that is what that road does, right? Or what local government really is that spearhead to opportunity to say, hey, this is happening today. We don't understand really the why, but in 3 or 4 years from now, you're going to really see the why.
Yeah, just like real estate, right? It's in most cases, it's a long-term play, right? Yeah. It's something that you're going to sit on and it's going to earn equity, and then you can use that equity to leverage additional properties and to make yourself more money. And
exactly, like home ownership, right? And then I think it's priceless where it is hard to get, but if you go through it, you're willing to get it. Yeah. And you obtain something that's now yours to have.
That's my biggest thing, man. Like, I'm so sick of hearing that people say we have an affordability problem, right? It's like, I don't know that, like, I get it. You want to throw, and people, you can manipulate numbers to do whatever you want, right? Like, you can throw out median averages. Well, if you look at wages on the average, and if you look at average home price, sure. Like, I'm not debating any of that, but I'm saying, what is your personal situation? How do we find a way to make it work for you? As a first-time home buyer in your 20s, are you going to be able to buy that move-in ready $1.6 million home? Probably not.
No.
But could we get you into a home that you could afford that maybe 5 or 6 years from now will double in value? Right. And then you use that, sell it, and then you get another house. And then you work your way up to that. Right. And it's just so many people have a hard time seeing that far into the future. So.
Because I think it's like, again, like you said, right? It's what people want today. Right. Amazon, maybe in a few hours, maybe in a day. They bring you whatever you want, right? Right. Today, real estate, just as much as anything, it's how soon or how fast I need to get this. I need it instantly. I can't wait, and I want that $1 million home today. Right. And I don't understand the process it takes, the sacrifice it takes, and the drive that takes to accomplish what that is.
Right. Because it is hard work. Yeah. So that's so cool that you want to take on the local government to kind of give back to the community in that side. And so you mentioned you ran 4 years ago. Yes. Didn't get it.
Nope.
Unfortunately.
Didn't get it. But I learned a lot. Like,
you learned a lot.
Again, people get into it thinking, oh, it's who I know or people I know. They're support me. But it's the time and effort that you have to invest in actually like the education of going to different meetings, transportation, ADOT, speaking on it, educating yourself. So again, you are a resource to the community and not just be like, hi, I'm Adam and I want to be your city council person, right? It's not that easy.
You're not playing that victim game of, oh, well, I didn't get it because I didn't know the right people.
No,
it's like, okay.
Yeah, because I lost. I met with all three that won, and I asked for feedback. I asked like, hey, what could I have done better? Things about itself. I was like, hey, if I really want this, I have to put in the work. I have to put in the sacrifice, be determined to basically accomplish this.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, here I am now. So my committee, there is 7 people on my committee. I have a campaign manager. I have about a dozen or so community advocates as well that obviously promote myself. So.
Yeah. So long-term vision for Maricopa. I know you mentioned the 347, but are you looking to just grow it as a community? Do you want it to get bigger, or what's kind of the bigger?
Good question. So people get afraid of that, right? They hear like bigger, scarier, it's more traffic congestion, all that stuff, right? It's like at the end of the day, it's not so much how fast it grows. It's more about giving like the smart growth, right? And not just growing to grow, right? Yeah. It's to bring things out there that Maricopa doesn't have.
Got it.
So it's a nightlife. There's restaurants. There's like a restaurant row that could potentially come there. Employment, which again is huge, that the city does not really have. The 2 biggest employers, school, city. That's it. They don't really have any other employment. So that's also a goal of mine is I can't control it, but you have to champion every day of why not Maricopa? Why not bring your business from Phoenix to Maricopa?
Okay, I like that, man. So so growing it the right way.
The right way.
So you don't have to leave, right? So
basically,
that's the goal.
Live, work, play, all in Maricopa.
That's fantastic. Because I know you love it out there.
I do. I've been there almost 20 years, man.
20 years out there.
20 years.
That's so cool.
Right. It's a great city.
And it's still like one of that was one of the reasons I did the video out there, is because I was challenging the home affordability piece of things. I'm like, if you look at Phoenix, and so we did a side-by-side comparison of owning a home in Maricopa compared to Phoenix. And it was like, not only was it significantly cheaper, it was lower than the national average even. So it's like, look, you're what, 20 minutes from the freeway, and you're not that far from Phoenix. So even if you have a job and you live, you work there, like here's how you can own a home for significantly less.
Right.
But going into your side like that, it's a great long-term play, because if that area grows, like look at what happened to like Santan Valley, look at what happened to Gilbert, to any of the cities that started out small that are now priced out of the the market, right?
Yeah.
Like Maricopa is prime for first-time home buyers, for retirees, like lots of different people. So that's really cool, man. How can people get involved more to be better neighbors, be a better part of the community in Maricopa? It's a
awesome question. I like it. So it's like, I guess it's more about themselves, right? Like if you truly want to be involved in it, like you can go to a committee meeting, right? There is just the simple fact of going to one of several events that the city has and just walk around, meet people.
Yeah.
Like there's people all the time out there. I just putting yourself out there and not feeling like afraid of like, okay, someone's going to turn me away or they're not going to answer me, because again, we all live near each other.
Right.
A simple fact of just waving at someone saying hi, extending an olive branch, I guess, you know, so.
Just get out there more.
Get out there.
Is there also like a social media page where people can because that's what I found. I found like a Facebook group where you can post stuff. So
there's pages out there for everything. There's like a Maricopa page. There's pages. Yeah, there's a bunch of pages out there.
Yeah.
Great to go on there and read. If you can't sleep at night, you can read a lot of.
There was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff out there. But I would say the biggest thing is just go out there, go to an event.
Yeah.
Attend an event, and you're going to meet people socially out there. You know what I mean? Social media is good to read comments at night.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And check out what they have to say.
But nothing beats like in-person, face-to-face events. So, because that's where you meet people.
That's it, man.
And that's where you can like come together on common goals, and that's how you kind of know how to help people get to
whatever that is. Exactly. And exactly. It's just being present, right? Like listening first to people, because most of the time they have stuff they want to share, but people tend not to listen. They don't really actively listen. They just want to just answer something. You could have said something about dogs and cats and whatever else. And then it's like you just say something completely different. It's like, well, were you even paying attention to what I said, or you just want to just speak? So,
man, that's a lesson I've given my kids so many times. I'm like, all right, there's a difference between actively listening and waiting to talk.
Exactly.
2 different things.
For sure it is. And you can tell, because when you throw in this weird stuff into the conversation and they don't even respond, then you're like, oh, you checked out that conversation.
My son had a sleepover last night, and so I was taking one of his friends home today, and I can't remember what I was was talking to him about. And in the very middle, he was like, so how do you think they back up those double trailers? I'm like,
That's a great question, isn't it?
it's like, yeah, that's a good question, buddy. I don't know.
Right? It's like, let's go rent a truck and find out. Let's see. Let's see how it happens.
And I know what's on your mind.
Exactly.
I hadn't spoken to you. I know we've known each other for a long time, but it'd probably been a couple of years since I had spoken with you, especially. And we used to work together quite a bit on the real estate side, but again, through our life's journeys, we've kind of just we've been doing our own thing.
Yeah.
And so I love that. We were talking about how, when you just keep living your life and you're doing the things that you want to do, how certain people come back into your life.
Yep.
And so, when we had that call, when we had another joint client together, a mutual client that we were working on, but the whole conversation shifted, right? Like, we were on the phone for what, like an hour and a half together, brother?
We were, man, for sure, sharing some personal stuff.
Some personal stuff, because I'm very open about it now. I'm still going through a divorce. It's not quite finalized yet. We're almost there. We're like a month, maybe 2 away from getting finalized.
It's hard, isn't it?
It is very hard. It is surprising how difficult it is, especially I was married for 16 years, and I know you were married, what, 18 years before you got divorced. So, that's a big chunk of your life that you're used to being with somebody and, living a certain way. And it's hard, but it's been better.
Sure.
Which you also kind of feel bad about. Like, I know I've been going through all kinds of emotions of
I got, and here's how people have told me this, right? It's like, you start the divorce. Mine was finalized a few weeks ago. Right. You start the divorce, and you really don't self-discover yourself until it's done.
Yeah.
And people don't really people are trying to give you advice all the time about do this or do that or do whatever until you've literally walked the walk, been through a divorce, and been through the heartache, the pain, the struggle, the highs, the lows, and everything between it. Could you ever really even advice is hard because your situation different than mine. Right? Just as much as anyone else's. Yeah. It's just being there to be like, you've been through something that's, I was probably one of the most, if not the painful things you could ever endure in your life.
Right.
You were with this person who was your partner.
Right.
And not anymore.
Right.
And now they were your best friend. Now they're enemy. Over what at the end of the day, right? Like, I'm a believer more so now. People come in your life for a reason and they exit your life.
Yeah.
And I've read on that recently, it's more about chapters than it is anything. Some people call it seasons, but for me, I look at it as a chapter. That chapter of my life is closing. It's just what that is. It's life, right? That you are evolving, you go through things, Like someone told me this too, it's like a caterpillar. You go through it as the very beginning as a caterpillar. By the time it's very done, you're a butterfly. Right. And you've literally shedded so much off yourself, you rediscover who you are. Mm-hmm.
Transformation.
Yeah.
So what have you learned about yourself throughout this process?
Oh my God. That's what I've learned. Oh my God, buddy. Yeah. That's okay. So I learned to give myself boundaries, right? That before I didn't really set for people, you know what I mean? Because I would just be always like, yes, overindulge myself and just overcommit. Now to the point now, it's like, wait a minute. It's okay to say no to someone. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to sleep in.
Yeah.
Just to give yourself that boundary just for yourself, right? And then like I say to people all the time, if you don't take care of you, the world's going to see it. Your kids are going to see it. And people skip over. It's like, I can pretend. Well, guess what? Down the road, it's no longer pretending. Your body's going to not work anymore.
Oh, it does.
Emotionally, mentally.
It catches up with you because as somebody who, I'm a natural giver, right? Like that's why you like volunteer work. I've always loved, educating and helping. And, I grew up in the Scouts as well. Like, some of us are just designed that way where we love to help and give back. But you're right. If you don't take care of yourself first, or if you say yes to maybe things that you don't really want to do, but you feel like you're obligated to because you don't want to be that guy or whatever, it will catch up with you. And it is, I know for me, that's probably been the hardest thing is slowing down. Yeah. It is, because I feel so guilty for like you said, sleeping in.
Yeah.
I used to never sleep in. Like I was, you get up, you work your ass off all day until you can't do it anymore. But it's not sustainable. Like that grind mentality, the hustle mentality. Like I was all in on that life for so long, and now I find myself having a hard time relaxing. So how do you learn to get through that? Yeah.
I think ultimately, like, it's hard. It's been a hard process, but I've heard this and read on it a lot. It's that too shall pass.
Yeah.
And people have said it all the time, right? Everything is the high, the ultimate high will pass, the ultimate low will pass. And at the end of the day, it's like you have to give yourself self-grace, right? To understand, to be like, hey, I've been through something that's been a year long, and now it's coming to an end. Right. And it's okay to basically say, like, hey, I have to decompress, de-stress, or don't take things so like to the extreme to say, okay, that's the worst possible thing that's going to happen, and all these things are happening because why, right? Yeah. Like, there is no benefit to it, right? We're not brain surgeons, right? I'm not doing surgery on someone that's going to hurt them. Our job, our life, everything could be fixed by just taking a deep breath and saying, hey, like, okay, like, how do we work this out?
Yeah.
You know? Like I say to my sons all the time, like, explain to me where that you came or where you're coming to this reasoning that you have. And it gives them a chance to explain it instead of just like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not the right way or whatever. So I think I personally look at it myself and say the same, to be like, hey, like, take that deep breath.
Man, it's hard to do.
I know. It is. But dude, it's a lesson you have to learn. It's like muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
You know?
But no, and the other thing I like is like the only way you really learn stuff is through doing. Like you have to know that you're going to try and fail and fail again.
Oh, for sure, right? And a fail is not so much a bad thing. It's something that you learn from.
Yeah.
Because people look at it as, oh, failure, oh my God, that's the worst thing in my life. Wow. If you look at it and say, okay, this is what I learned from it, and now I'm going to take that and I'm going to improve on whatever that was.
Now, failure's been one of my best teachers. Like it has taught me so much. Like I think I've learned way more from failures than I have from any form of, what you might call success. So that's, life's crazy, man.
It is. It is crazy, my man. Yeah, but you think about it, right? It's one of the biggest things that we take for granted every day, right? Yeah. It's somehow tomorrow is expected, it's going to happen, but it's not.
Yeah.
And it's like there's fear, and I think that's in your mind telling you, oh, don't do these things. For whatever the reason might be, but if you just put yourself out there, be vulnerable, willing to try something, that opportunity is going to be there presently in front of you,
And you've mentioned this a couple of times, but being present in the moment. How have you learned to do that better?
I think it's like putting your phone down, right? Yeah. Just not being so on your phone, right? Like being around your kids, being around a group of people, and just being in that time, right? Yeah. Because again, I look at it all the time. You go into an airport, right? People are so tunnel vision into their terminal. I gotta get to the gate, I get to the gate. But it's like, look around. See the people that are there. You're never going to see them again. Like, you don't know who's around you. Right. I could bump into you in an airport, right? Yeah. But I'm just so tunnel vision into my terminal. I worry, like, that's all I have to focus on. I'm mad because you're in my way. Yeah. But it's like, at the end of the day, just stop and be like, look who's around you. An opportunity to say hi to someone that you might not ever see.
So true. No, there's people all around us, man, and they all have their own individual problems and issues, and that's the other thing that's helped me. I know is try to put yourself in someone else's shoes, right? To see it from their perspective. Yep. It's like when somebody, like I used to get really pissed off, like driving when somebody like cuts me off or something, right? It's like, well, maybe they didn't mean to. Like we don't know what's going through that person's mind. We don't know what type of day they have. Maybe they're trying to get to a hospital where their parent is sick or something, right? Like we don't know their situation. And so I think by sometimes just taking that step back and realizing we all have problems, man. And I have no idea what yours are, what mine are. Like we all got our own shit.
But you know what it is though? People look at it, my problems are more important than yours, so I need to get through you. I need to do something because my problems are more important. Yeah. And the sad part is, it's like, again, we're human people, right? If you just allow someone to share their feelings with you and just imagine what their day is going to be, right? Yeah. Even the fact of like holding a door for someone, people take it for granted, right? It's like, well, why would I do that? It's like that could be a small seed that changes their day. Saying hi to them, acknowledging something, paying it forward as what the people used to do, buy coffee, whatever. Yeah. It changes their outlook because they could have been told something really bad. Right. And now it's like, wait a minute, this is like something pretty awesome that just happened.
Or even just a small compliment, man. Yep. Like it's, it really can change everything. Yeah. I remember, so I don't know if I told you the full story, but a lot of what led to the divorce was a terrible accident that my ex-wife had earlier this year where, she got so drunk, she basically, threw herself down the stairs, put herself into a coma for 5 days.
I'm sorry, man.
It was awful. I had to, I was on the phone, like I didn't even know what had happened. Like I had no idea she had been, drinking that whole morning. Like I was literally down here in the basement hanging out with my kids, and all of a sudden we hear this thump. And I just see her at the bottom of the stairs, completely unconscious. And so I had to scream for the kids. My daughter's literally holding the phone with 911, on speakerphone, while I'm carrying her up the stairs, giving her CPR, while my son's, out on the street flagging down the ambulance, trying to, and I'm just so confused on what the fuck happened. Like did she try to kill herself? I have all these thoughts, right? Yeah. And so it was just a very traumatic moment for me and the children. But I remember when she was in the hospital, we were going to visit her every day, waiting for her to wake up, knowing was she going to wake up? Yeah. But I remember I got in the elevator and there was this other guy there. He was this big, big Latino cholo guy, just gangster, and he looked like he was just having a tough day. And I was in a better spot because I was there with my family, and they were talking to me. And for some reason, I just looked at him and I was like, "You doing okay, man?" And he's like, my mom's here, and it's been tough. And I was like, "Do you need a hug, man?" For some reason, I don't know why I said that. It was just some random stranger. I was like, "You need a hug?" He's like, "No, I'm good." I was like, "Can I give you a hug?" And he goes, "You know what? All right." So I just gave this random stranger a hug, and his whole demeanor, the whole energy changed, and I just he just lit up. He's like, "Thank you, man." You got he was trying to hold back the tears and stuff. Wow. But he was, and even he left a floor before me, but he was even right before shuts, he's like, "Hey, thank you again. I hope everything gets better for you." And I was like, "You too, man." Just those simple acts of kindness, go such a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
We're both there in the hospital. We have terrible things happening to us, but
opposites, right? Yeah. In a way, right? But obviously came together inside that elevator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shared what that was, right?
Right. Yeah.
As much as a guy is supposed to be, right? You're not supposed to share your feelings openly, honestly to anyone. So to embrace with a hug, it's kind of taboo. Don't, just...
And it shouldn't be though. I think that's something that needs to change as well. I've had a couple of the last podcasts on here. We've talked about men's mental health because if you look at suicide rates, men are double than that of women. 2 to every 1. Suicide in general is awful, but men especially, we feel like we can't share ourselves. And I don't know why that is.
Because I think we're raised that way. Society has that way, right? You just show up every day, do your job, and just you can't show any emotion.
Shut the fuck up, make money.
And make money and do it all again. Wash and repeat, wash and repeat, wash and repeat. Over and over and over. And then when you break is when that happens, So you know what I mean? I think it's important to recognize that, that it is okay to have a bad day.
Yes.
And I think it's also important for men to be together, to be able to feel it's a safe place to share their feeling and not be that you're not a strong guy, you shouldn't be talking that way or whatever. Because it is important, right? Because your worst day is basically keeping it inside yourself and never really sharing that with anyone. Which why? Because you could share with a complete stranger like that gentleman and giving him a hug, right? That changes that whole outlook.
Changes the whole day. It's crazy. No, we need to do better of that as men. And that's one of the other reasons I like to do these podcasts and have these conversations, because maybe there is another guy out there who's thinking that they can't share, who is afraid to share their feelings. Don't like you said, everything is on the other side of fear.
Everything is, dude. Well, fear is, it's like almost like ingrained into us, right?
Yeah.
And I think it comes from like our parents when we were kids, right? Don't jump around, don't jump off the chair. They're distilling fear into us at such a young age that once we're older, it's like, well, we're supposed to sit straight, don't do this, don't do that, because the fear of what if, right? And now as we're older, that's where it stems from, right? Is your childhood of just no, don't do all these things.
Right.
And now it's like emotions on top of it. Like, don't share that. Like, don't cry. Like, tough love. You know, like playing sports. Don't cry about it. Just cry harder.
Rub some dirt on it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Get up and do it again. You know what I mean? You know, but yeah, it's like, it's one of those things, like, again, as we get older, it's how deep do you want to really go? Like you mentioned, I've been through divorce. You soul search yourself, and it goes all the way back from a childhood and telling your childhood self, like, it's okay. It wasn't you, man.
Yeah.
And then to present day.
That's been one thing, like through this journey, like the metamorphosis, but the way I like to think about it, at least what's been helpful for me, is like it is a metamorphosis in some ways, but it's almost remembering who you really are, right? Like that true inner child before you were taught all those things of don't do this, don't do this. Like you're naturally, my parents have always taught me that we came as we are. Like me, like I have a great relationship with all of my siblings, great relationship with my parents, and we are all extremely different individuals, like from our like value, well, not so much values, but like different beliefs, and, you know, personalities. Like we're very, very different people, but we all get along great. And one thing that my parents always taught us is that you guys came as you are. Like you were born that way. This is who you are. And so you're right, because it's those lessons that we've learned. It's the environment that we grew up in, the things we saw, the things we heard. Like they started to not take away, but like sometimes take it away, but also I was kind of like indirectly creating who you are today, right? And it doesn't mean that it's okay. It's just now you have to like rewire yourself to say, guess what I was afraid of is only going to last 10 seconds, and I'm on to whatever that is. And I have found that when you face those things faster, like when you're putting off the things you know you should be doing, you always feel bad. But when you force yourself to do the hard things every day, right? Like because some of it is repetitive. It's that repetition. Like I don't know if you knew me during my fat years, but I was like 70 pounds heavier in 2020. I got really overweight. I was just like I'd let myself go, you know, in a lot of ways. And then I had I saw a photo one day. My son had taken a picture of us while we were on vacation, and it was that side shot. And so I just had this huge gut, and I was like, who the fuck is that fat guy? Is that me? And like it sparked something in me of like, I don't want to be like that. And so I made a commitment with a friend where we basically we had Apple Watches at that time frame, and we just made a simple goal of, all right, we're going to close our rings every single day. So you got to work out for at least 30 minutes. You got to stand up, 12 hours out of the day or whatever. Have to get so many movement goals in. It's like, we're going to do that every day for a year. And so that was kind of what kicked it off for both of us. And we both lost a ton of weight. But then from there, it like, it led to other things and other challenges. And so it's that daily repetition. But I've found that it works better when you do have an accountability partner or somebody that you can do it with. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Because then you're like, because on my bad days, like he would, we were friends on the little Apple Watch thing, and he'd be like, it would be like 3:00 in the afternoon. He's like, I don't know, man. It doesn't look like you're gonna make it. Did you get your workout in today? I'm like, son of a bitch. Right. Accountability, right? Yeah, for sure. But we need those people to push us in the right way. Sure. Right. And so. But then keep in mind this, right? As they say, if you feel good, you look good. Yeah. You're overall good, right? Yeah. But if one of them is missing, right? Your physical health, your mental health. It shows itself amongst the world. It does. You know what I mean? It is. It helps you with that confidence level for sure. Like, I have had so much of my confidence rocked through this divorce. Like, I bet. Just crushed it, right? Like, I questioned everything of who I am, and did I cause this? Like, was this my fault? The whole, all of it, right? Yep. But the cycle, right? It is. It's a cycle of what you go through grieving. It's like this saying, it's second closest to death. Yes. But without the person not dying. Right. Basically. Yeah.
It's the whole grieving cycle that people don't realize. It's they pretend to be excited or happy or whatever they're going through, right? But the real, like, it's literally death without the person dying.
No, it is.
Because that person's been with you, literally knows you probably better than your own mom, your own dad.
And then you still have to co-parent with them if you have kids.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's hard, brother. It really is. And I know you're still pretty fresh after the divorce, but how's that going?
It's going, buddy. It's like at the end of the day, right? It's kind of like something that should have taken place sooner.
Sure.
And then it just had to be on the path that it did. But it's like, if you can, I'm not a big person to say divorce is the only option. If you can work through it, right? Yeah. Go to therapy, do all the things, but it takes two people. Two people's effort. And if it's not two people, then there's literally no point. But the only thing you're wasting again is time, right? And the wishful thinking of it's going to get better if I do these things, this is going to change. But the reality is it's not. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change for themselves.
That is
not going to work.
Accurate statement of all time.
Like, it is true, but we hope, we pray, we say at the end of the day, if I do, they're going to change, they're going to do this, they're going to, and it's like, no, they don't, because they are who they are.
Right.
And that's what it is. And the only one that you can change if you want to change is yourself.
Correct. All of us at the end of the day are we're living the consequences of our own actions. Like we can't control others.
No, you can't. No.
Yeah, you can try to influence people, sure, but like you said, the only person you can really make choices for is yourself.
Is yourself. And again, imagine like how hard it is for you to change yourself, right?
Yeah.
People don't realize, but you want to change someone else, which is almost nearly impossible.
It is impossible.
Because if it's hard for you, imagine for the other person.
Right. Especially if they don't want it, like you said.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's, again, people getting in that slippery slope of, they're going to do it, they're going to do it, they're going to do it. Tomorrow will be better, next month will be better. And next, the calendar has turned over and it's been 2 years.
Right.
And you're still unhappy.
Yeah.
And then you retract yourself. Yeah. And then you retract yourself as a guy of like, you don't even know who you are anymore. You just basically status quo every day.
For the outward appearance of whatever that might be.
Yep. But. You know how people chase goals, right? Instead of for themselves, they chase it for the guy down the street and whatever they have, right? But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's what are they willing to sacrifice for that guy? Probably not much, right? But they're envious and jealous of what they have. But it's like at the end of the day, are you willing to work 60, 70 hours a week? Probably not, right? Or to not have a good diet, not have a healthy balance of life, but you're chasing that guy's person. Instead of like at the end of the day, hey, I'm happy being me and I'm in shape. And my income is X number, and I'm good. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because that should matter.
Comparing to others, I think, is a problem, right? Like when we compare ourselves to other people, it's like, like you just do what you can for you, like what makes you happy. Yeah. And that's what's hard, at least like something that's been difficult for me is coming out of going through the divorce is like, okay, what do I want? Like, because we're so used to taking care of another person and giving so much of yourself, you lose a sense of yourself along the way. And so I like how you mentioned that, like you have to find yourself again.
You're refinding yourself, and there's nothing wrong with it. Is like you said earlier, it's not a fail. It's guess what? I get to try anything.
Yeah, I
can do anything I want to do.
And isn't that great? It's
and like, that's one of the most
whatever I want.
Yeah, whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want it. It's like relieving in its own self. Because before it was like I lived in this world that I didn't even know myself.
Right.
And now it's like I'm getting to learn myself again, and not many people ever have that opportunity.
I know.
So it's kind of like more precious than it is bad.
It's exciting, man.
It is, dude. It is. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite things to say is, wow, I'm just getting started. Like I just
Jason
turned 40.
Aldean said that.
I just turned 40, man. And I
Congrats
feel like
on that.
I'm pumped. Like I don't know why people get so afraid to get older. Like I'm just like, dude, I know shit now. Yeah. Like I know how to do things. Like
I know.
I do have a sense of what I want and I know what I'm capable of. So it's like, if I've already done this, if I've already made it this far, I feel like I've done a pretty good job so far. What else am I capable of?
Sure.
That was actually, I always choose a word of the year. And this year's word of mine was potential. Yep. I love that. I like to see what I'm capable of and what I can do. So.
Right. Yeah, because you think about it, right? Where like divorce either breaks you or makes you.
Oh, big time.
And for most people, it breaks them, right? And again, it goes back to mental health, the circle of people that you have in your world, right? Doesn't have to be big. It could be one person, right? To get you through that point, because as every cloud is dark, it eventually gets clear.
Yes.
But people don't realize they think it's going to be dark forever and ever. So it's like, no, it's not. Like it eventually will get clear.
Yeah. And you learn a lot of that stuff. It's facing those fears and having the courage to just keep going. And keep pushing. So.
Yeah. And then the unknown, right? The unknown.
Oh, man.
Because before it was wash, repeat, the same process.
Yeah.
Today, tomorrow is unknown.
Right.
Which some people get afraid of, right? But underneath it all the day, right?
The
like
unknown
it's
is scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's one thing that you're optimistic about right now?
Oof. Optimistic? I would say, I wouldn't really even call it optimistic. Okay. I just put it in the hands of like, I'm not a religious person.
Yeah.
But like what is meant to be will happen.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like city council, if I win, I win. If I don't win, I did the best I could. I tried. That's what it is, right? I just kind of live my world as more kind of like that than it is to be like, I need these things to happen, or optimistic, if that's how you say it. I don't think it's close to what it was.
No, you got it.
But it's like at the end of the day, it's like it's like in the hands of something else.
Trusting yourself or trusting a higher power that it's all going to work out.
Basically, right? Because I think as like if you truly want to grow, and I've been told this, I've read on it, right? People want to get stronger, they go to the gym.
Yeah.
But it's not always about going to the gym to get stronger, right? You don't have to go through pain to get stronger. But people is like, well, I'm going to the gym because I'm exercising to get stronger. No, when you put that out there in the air, I want to be a stronger person. Well, sometimes it's going to come with pain.
No, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
Pain is a prerequisite to that.
Yeah.
Like
people don't look at it as that way. They just think it's, I'm going to get stronger. But well, there's other ways of getting stronger.
Yeah. No, I love the working out analogy because the fitness side of things I think really helped a lot of my mindset stuff because it helped show me what my body's capable of. Right, like when you're disciplined. So, when you work out, like especially with like muscle growth, if you're trying to get, bigger muscles, that soreness feeling that you feel is literally your muscle fibers having micro tears in them. They're literally being torn down in order to grow. Like that's biology.
Yep.
And so if you think about that from like a mental standpoint, right? It's like we almost need to be excited for pain and invite those things because that is how we grow biologically. Yeah. So that's a fascinating analogy. So.
Because people are afraid of it, but at the end of the day, like the simple fact is that just because you want to get stronger doesn't always correlate to exercising.
Right. Oh, not always.
Right? It's pain in your life.
It's pain
that you're going to deal with that will make you stronger. Make or break you.
The traumatic event, of that accident earlier this year. Was probably the most painful thing I've gone through in my entire life. Yeah. But it's also led me to this point today, to where I'm at, where I finally was able to know in my heart the right decision was divorce. That some people don't want to change.
No, and they won't change.
And they won't change.
Nope.
So I have to change.
Yeah.
I have to change my environment.
Yeah.
And that is difficult, especially when it's somebody that you love, right? Or that you thought you loved or that you were in love with. Again, I do love her, but just not in not in the ways I did before, right?
Sure, right. Have you ever heard of this expression that you can't keep someone who doesn't want to be kept?
Ooh. No, I don't know that I've heard that actually.
No.
Explain that a little more.
Yeah. So it's like at the end of the day, right? You might want your ex, right? Want her so bad, right? You would do anything. But at the end of the day, if she doesn't want to be kept by you, she's going to continue to the path that she was on. Whatever she was doing is going to be what that is. That correlates to my life in lots of ways. Yeah. Right? It's like you said earlier, like optimistic, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, if you want something bad enough, you're going to get whatever that outcome is, right? If you're not willing to put in for it, you're not going to get it. So it goes back to like being kept or not. You can't keep something who doesn't want to be kept. No matter what you do, money, how you look, how your appearance is, how nice you treat them, how bad you treat them, none of that's going to matter. If they're not going to be present, they're never going to be there. Right. Never will be.
No, that is true, man. And it's so funny because unlike the business side of things, I know that, right? I'll have conversations with clients well, I can't do this, I can't. Well, you can, you're just not willing to. There's always a solution. And as men, I think we're natural problem solvers, right? But what's weird is on the mental health side of things, there's not always a solution.
Nope.
And marriage taught me that a lot, right? Nope. I remember my talking with my dad about that once. I was like, dude, she's just like, every time I try to like fix whatever she's talking about, like she just gets mad at me and this, that. He's like, they don't want a fix. They just want to be heard. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's different. But I think we even need that as men sometimes. So I've been offering that up to like some of my friends going through other things. It's like, hey, if you just need someone to talk to, not try to solve anything, not offer advice, not do any, like just, if you just want to talk, and even if it's talking shit and just to get it out, get it out. I'm here to listen and
right.
And I because I've had friends that have done that for me.
Yeah.
And it has been so extremely helpful.
Yeah. It's almost like asking, right?
Right.
Asking them like the options. Like I ask my oldest son this. I'm like, do you want dad advice, guy advice, or me listen?
Love that.
And then it's his choice to pick from there, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just listen, which is perfectly fine. Right. Sometimes it's, hey, the dad advice business comes off as differently than what a guy's advice is. But again, yeah, it's that. And again, it's seeking permission to be like, okay, what do you need from me? Do you want me to listen? That's great, because I'll do that. But sometimes, again, like most people just want to talk just to get stuff out there. But the person's like, okay, I'm just here now and I just don't get to express my feelings. Right. Because you just overtake the conversation.
No.
You know, but I think it's like you said earlier, right? It's men's mental health, sense of awareness, your divorce, my divorce, which is very prevalent.
Yes.
Most of the time people look at it as taboo. Let's keep it quiet. Just, okay, I'm living my life and now I'm selling my house. My whole life gets torn to hell. But again, it's almost kind of like a relief when I shared with someone, I'm going through a divorce like you are. I had no idea. Well, actually, this has happened in my life.
Right.
Like, well, holy shit. Like,
that's what happened to us, man. Like, like I didn't even know, like sometimes I don't even know why I share stuff. I'm just like, you know, talking. And you find those common grounds and you're like, holy shit. And it does, because that connection, like even though like, again, different situations, very different things, but there's that commonality and it helps us remember that we're not alone in this in this world, right? Like there are people out there. Like we all have problems, we all have things, and someone else has gone through something similar. It's not the same because we're all different, but it does help.
Sure,
it is helpful, and so like that's why it doesn't always need a solution per se, but it's just knowing that you're not the only one.
Sure.
Like I remember when I was going through, you know, so she's an alcoholic and she was going to the Alcoholic Anonymous, you know, the AA meetings. But there's another support group which I feel like does not get talked about enough, and it's called Al-Anon, and it's for people that lived with alcoholics or that were married to alcoholics, and the stuff that they had to endure and the stuff that they had to go through. And it was so funny. Like I just remember, you know, I was kind of going through the motions or whatever. Like, you know, this is here for her, not for me. Like, you know. But the first pamphlet I got was, so you fell in love with an alcoholic. and then it listed like 10 things. It's like, here's 10 things you've probably tried that haven't worked.
Right.
And literally I had tried every single one of them. And I just burst into tears. I'm like, there's literally a pamphlet for this shit. I felt like I was going crazy for years. Like I thought that I was the only one going through this. You know, just all of these thoughts that I had to know that like, not only is there other people that have felt through this, but there's a guidebook now and there's help on how to get past it and how to learn. And like, and so it was fascinating. Like it's funny that group actually helped me realize I needed a divorce, but
there's a benefit to it.
There is,
and
right?
Then again,
and that's not everybody. I'm not saying that's the right solution for everybody. It was the right solution for us, but
sure. But like you would think that service like that, should be so public, right? It's so obvious, right?
It's like why are people not talking about this? Like
shame, pride.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to talk about my spouse because they're what they are. Just keep it in house.
And it is supposed to be anonymous, right? Like the Alcoholic Anonymous. But why? Share your story, man. There's other people that need your story.
Right.
And that's why I'm such a big believer of the video on social media too. Because it's like, if I could just help one person, just one person, I'm good.
With for sure,
And I love that you do that on the city council side of things too. You know, I'm not a religious guy either, but throughout this, I've been studying a lot of religions and trying a lot of different things. And the more I study, I'm like, everyone's kind of on the same page, guys. Like we're all just using different words and different people and different analogies, but like our end goal is to be happy, is to live a successful life, whatever that looks like for you.
Sure.
To not be told what to do. Sure. Like none of us want to be told what to do, right? At least I think that, but.
Do you really think everyone wants to be happy?
I hope so. Yeah.
I think there are people in this world that exist that just always will believe in the negativity.
Really?
No matter what, just what they are. Their life is what that is. Negative.
You don't think deep down you don't think they're lashing out, their
just
goal
my
in
own
life
personal
is to
experience?
destroy?
No.
Man, that's sad.
Well, it is, but again, that's just all they know, right?
Sure.
And again, it comes down to if they don't want to change within themselves,
that's fair.
That's what they're going to be. And it's like you trying to ask someone to see the positive they're never going to see, right?
No, you're not wrong. Like some people, well, I think it comes down to self-love, right? Like people that are negative, people that are putting hate out in the world, I think they hate themselves.
Sure they do.
And that's how, that's their outlet is like, well, if I hate myself, then everyone needs to hate this. And because it feeds off of it, right? So if, that makes a lot of sense then. So if it's all internal, if it's all in each of us, like that's the solution. It starts
with inside. That's why I think as mental health, like not to go down that road, but it's like mental health insurance, right? It should almost be a free service, right? Because if it costs that much to see a profession, a therapist, you're not going to go because you're trying to survive and take care of the bills. So in turn, what makes you a good person, you can't even afford to do. And I think mental health should be that. It should be a priority of anything. Like if you need the help, it shouldn't be like, well, can't afford it, so I'm going to put that in the back burner because I need to buy food, I need to buy groceries, I need to pay living things. And then eventually you just become this person, like I said earlier, that just can't change because everything around you.
You've given up.
But mental health.
All right. Well, how can people follow along with your journey or learn more on how to support you?
Awesome. So there's a bunch of ways. So for now, I'm asking for help, support, get me on the ballot. So there's a QR code, there's a link, you can go on there. You have to be living in the city of Maricopa, be a registered voter. Go on the link, put it in there. You need your driver's license, put it in. It takes like 2-3 minutes. And then from there, that helps me get on the ballot. Then once I'm on the ballot, I have enough signatures, which is 440 signatures minimum. Then it'll go into what my platform is and what I really want to do for the city.
If you're a resident of Maricopa, Adam Leach, make sure he gets on the ballot, vote for him for city council.
For sure. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Dude.
Thanks for being on the show, brother.
For sure. I appreciate it, man. Hey, knock it over. Exactly, dude. Let's go. All right.